So you're hosting a virtual event on the Remo platform and you want to assign your guests to tables. I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Plus, I'll also show you how to use the Assigned Shuffle feature. Let's take a look. Hi, I'm Seth Resler from Community Marketing Revolution. And before we begin, I want to let you know that I have a free quick start guide to Remo. So if you're hosting your very first Remo event, you want a quick guide to get you up and running, you can go ahead and download that for free. I have put the link in the description of this video below. Now, let's talk about how you assign tables in the Remo virtual event platform. This is a very useful feature if you want to make sure that people are grouped together at your event. And you can assign those tables, and what that means is that when they first log into the event, when they first enter the event, that's the table that they're going to be seated at. It doesn't mean that they can't still move from table to table to table. They will be able to do that as long as you haven't locked the tables. All it means is that they will enter the event at a particular table. They'll already be seated there when the event starts. So let's log in to the Remo backend and take a look at how this is done. So here I am. I'm in the backend of Remo and I have logged in to my test event. I'm going to go over to the left column and open up the advanced menu, and I will click on Assign Tables. And I've got the option to assign tables here. Now, one note, before we assign tables, you probably want to go in and make sure that the floor content is all set, because if you try and change the floor content after the tables have been assigned, sometimes Remo won't let you. So I usually assign tables as the last thing I do right before the event, usually a couple hours before the event starts. But we're going to go in and click on Assign Tables, and then we're going to click Floor 1. And we're going to manage. And here's what we're going to see over here. Over on the left in this column, we have the attendee list. And here are the email addresses of everybody who is registered for the event. So all we need to do to assign them to a table is to grab their email address and we can drag it over to the table that we want. So I'm going to grab Dragula and Mummy. I'm going to try and put them at table number 1. Now you can see that there are only 2 seats at table number 1, and I have now filled both of them. So if I try and drag Wolfman over there, I'll get this error message that tells me that the table is full. So instead, we'll just move Dracula and Mummy and the Wolfman over to table 13. And of course, we don't want Goldilocks and Little Red Riding Hood and my mom to be at the same table as any of those guys. So we're going to move them over to table 10 so that they are seated in different places. So now when Goldilocks and Little Red Riding Hood and my mom enter the event, they're all going to be seated automatically at table number 10, while all these monsters are going to be over at table number 13. If you need to unassign all the tables, you've got this button right up here. You can see when I hover over it, it says Unassign All Attendees. And I click that. And do I want to remove them for the floor or the entire event? It doesn't really matter at this point, but we'll go ahead and remove them. And now they're all back over here. So that's how you assign tables. Now, the other neat thing that you can do here is you can make up multiple sets of assignments. So you can assign people for one preset, and then you can create a different preset, and you can shuffle in the middle of your event. And that'll move people to the second or third or fourth preset that you make. So it's a neat way to, on the one hand, shuffle your guests so that they interact with lots of different people, but at the same time, it gives you some control over it. So it's not just a random shuffle and you don't know who's going to go where. So you still have some control. So let's look at how we can do this assigned shuffle. Up here at the top of the screen, you'll see presets. And if I open up the preset menu, you can see right now I only have one preset. That's preset number 1. By default, preset number 1 is going to control how everybody is seated when they first enter the event. But we can go ahead and add another preset just by clicking this plus preset button here. And now I've got preset number 2. You can see pre-event preset number 1 and in-event preset number 2. And so what I can do is for preset number 1, we can go back to having Dracula and the Mummy and Wolfman Jack here, and Goldilocks on Little Red Riding Hood, and my mom over here. And then we can switch to preset number 2. We don't need to save. Everything is automatically saved. And now we can mix it up. We can have Dracula go to table number 14 and we'll put the mummy over there, and we will put Goldilocks over there, and we can put my mom over here with Little Red Riding Hood and the Wolfman. And I'm not that worried because my mom can protect Little Red Riding Hood, and she'll just, bop the Wolfman on his nose and everything will be fine. And so now we've got a second preset and we can toggle between them. So preset number 1, preset number 2. And so I'll show you in the event, but we will actually be able to shuffle between those presets. And so it allows you to mix up your guests in a controlled fashion. Now, if I decide I no longer want preset number 2, I can just go ahead and click this trash can button and we can delete preset number 2 if we want. Now we've got 2 other buttons here. We're not going to use them when we're planning the event, but we will use them when we are actually inside the event. This one here allows us to invite attendees to their assigned tables. So it doesn't actually force them to move to the new tables. All it does is it asks them if they're ready, and then they can say yes, and then they will be moved to the new table. This button, on the other hand, with the little arrows in a circle, this is actually going to force them to move. So this is going to just poof, you are now at your new assigned table. So we can go ahead and use that. So this has been saved. Let's go ahead into the event and take a look at how this works when you're actually hosting the event, not when you're setting it up in advance. So I've entered the event, and now let's take a look when we're hosting what we do here. I go down to this More button with 3 dots and click on that. And you can see I've got an option to shuffle the guests right here. That will just randomly put them in new places. I have no control over where they go. It'll just shuffle them. But the other option that I've got down here at the bottom is the Assigned Shuffle. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And you'll see that it opens up the same window that we saw in the back end when we were setting up our event. Now, if I hadn't assigned my guests before the event started, I could do that here. So I have all the same controls. I can create a new preset. I can go ahead and trash a preset if I want. And you can see that I can move people. So for example, if I scroll down here, I can move my mom from that table to that table. And I can change the assignments. So I do have the ability to do that on the fly if I haven't done that in advance. But let's say that I want to take this preset number 2. We've been in the event for, 10, 15 minutes. It's time to switch everybody up. Again, preset number 1 only controls where they first enter the event. We now want to go to preset number 2. And I've got 2 options. Again, they're the same 2 options we saw on the back end. I can either invite the attendee, say, hey, gently nudge them. Guys, time to go over. You're ready? Go ahead and go to the new table. Or I can just force them. Yep, time to go. Let's go. And just dump them in the new tables. Either way, so I've got the option to do that. And then you can see invited all attendees to their assigned tables. I could even do that first and give them 2 minutes, and then if they haven't moved, boom, we're just going to go ahead and do that. And you can see that there's a countdown timer once you announce that. So it doesn't do it instantly. It gives them kind of a 30-second countdown so that they can wrap up the conversations. And that says, hey, we're moving you to the new table. It's time to wrap up your conversation and get ready. It makes it a little bit less jarring. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right. And everybody's assigned to a new table. You can't actually see it here because these people aren't all logged in at the moment, but you would see all of a sudden their icons and their initials would all be at different tables. So that's it. That's how you use the Assigned Shuffle feature. It's a great way to get your guests to network with each other and to talk amongst each other and really to get them to build new connections and build a sense of community. I'm Seth Resler from Community Marketing Revolution, and if you want to get up and going with Remo virtual events, I've got a Remo quick start guide. Again, that's absolutely free. I put the link in the description of this video, so check it out below and download it. Or for more Remo videos, check out this one right here. Thanks for watching.